What's up, guys? Connor Ferguson here with Caleb Help. Oh my goodness.
Mm. Whoa. Whoa. Fucking Christ, Caleb. You get us both on the
When did we
same
get
show.
married?
We get on the same show and all of a sudden we get the same fucking names. Holy shit.
Gosh, today has just been so whack. I'm Connor Ferguson. This is the Always Race Day podcast. Damon Helgevald is below me. Caleb is to the side of me. If you're watching on the YouTube, just got back from Late Model Nationals today. Relaxing, trying to get off my feet a little bit. Worked pretty hard this week. Real quick before we really get into things, we are presented today by the wonderful people at the Karl Auto Group. If you need a car, contact them. They will get you set up. They will do it right and cleanly. It's a cleanliness guarantee that we say at Always Race Day here. Man, oh man, is my brain mush today. Late model guys party good.
I'm gonna say that's probably what happens when you come from a dump.
Oh man, Damon, I love you. When Always Race Day goes to races, viral moments happen, and Jonathan Davenport was in the middle of one, calling Knoxville Raceway, of all the facilities in dirt racing, calling Knoxville Raceway a dump. Obviously, and you guys saw my tweets about it. I'm a JD guy. I'm a JD fan. He's awesome, fantastic dude. Great quote. Go watch the video we did with him Saturday. Some girl in the background just yelled like, "You're the love of my life," and he goes, "Saying that about me, just so you know." He's funny. He's always dialed. He'll give you his honest opinion. It's not a guy who is like, "Oh, I'm going to say this because I have it calculated. Like, this is how people will think of this. This is what people's reaction will be. I have a strategic way of saying my quotes to get this reaction." Jonathan will just tell you what he thinks. And I love that about him. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, he called Knoxville a dump. And I told him too, like, I'm sorry that you got dragged in all that stuff. And people booed him Saturday during driver intros. Rookie journalism moment on my part, because I was not ready for him to get introduced and get booed by the entire grandstands. It was crazy.
I wouldn't have booed him. I'd have been the one guy standing up cheering. First of all, that's how I love the honesty that he brings. And like you said, go watch the Saturday video because it's not a double down on the take, but it's more of a this is my reason why, and he's, in my honest opinion, completely not wrong. Like, he is not wrong at all in his take on Saturday.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying. He's not wrong.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about the track. Okay. Specifically, yes. He's talking about the track prep. Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
I just said on the Saturday video, if you would see, this is the bad.
I thought you were talking about the dumb quote. I'm so sorry.
God dang.
I'm
only on once in a blue moon here every now and then lately because of our season starting, but get on and all of a sudden fireworks start going off here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no kidding. It's good to get Damon back on. He'll be on a little bit of the asphalt show. We're doing this before the asphalt one. We're recording both on the night. Recruiting guru, are you good? You got 5 stars coming in?
Well, we'll find out tomorrow if there's 5 stars coming in or not. But
hell yeah,
got a couple of calls I got to make here in about 40-ish minutes, and then got to visit tomorrow, visit next Monday, and visit the following Monday. So always just never read.
Can I tweet out? Can I tweet out like per a source? So and so visited Columbia College today.
Well, you're the
would that hurt you?
You're the recruiting journalist.
I know. Would that hurt? Would that hurt your chances having other college coaches knowing that?
No, I think it'd be great because it'd give me more exposure on cyclingfanatic.com.
I'll put a premium post up with just Columbia College boy.
There we go.
Guys, you'll never guess what happened with Matt Campbell today. Nothing, but Damon said that.
Exactly.
No, I brought Noah Nilsson just joined us. What the hell?
Yes, sir.
Chiefs Kingdom?
Chiefs Kingdom, baby.
All right. I texted Dawson today tweeted Dawson today from Open Wheel Updates about how you Chiefs fans need to understand that no one thinks you guys suck. You don't have haters.
Oh, no, I do. I think we suck.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you watch the first half of that football?
No, I
game?
did. I have not
Jesus.
I've not watched a lick of football today aside from a David Montgomery touchdown that I posted on Cyclone Fanatic and a Brock Purdy one.
Yeah, well, not good.
And David Montgomery's hurt now. Like, after that Iowa State game, like, oh, man, dude.
Dude, this is a bad weekend to be an Iowa State fan. They got beat, and then you got the Montgomery injury. Then you got Will McDonald being inactive. Like, it was just a bad weekend. But regardless, to the dump that you were at in Knoxville.
Yeah, so Ricky Thornton Jr. sweeps the week. Go and get on our Twitter. And I'll post it on our YouTube too. I should. It's only a 30-second video. I don't love posting short ones to our YouTube like that, but Ricky was amped to win that. And obviously it's $50,000, but he was amped to win that $50,000 check at the end of the night. You can't tell me this isn't a major event in late model racing. And we can argue semantics. We can argue semantics and what makes a major event and whatever. But I'm putting Knoxville on my list.
But you got to remember too that RTJ is from Iowa originally. Like that's where his.
My biggest regret is I didn't talk to him about that this week.
No, that's where his roots lie. So you go and win at one of the most famous racetracks and probably the most in the state of Iowa. You go in at that place and you've known about it as a kid. That's a pretty cool deal for you to do so.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Caleb.
I think it's an absolute shock that Connor thinks that a race at Knoxville is super important.
Also true. Shocking.
Like,
I watched Monster Truck Show there this year. It sucked. How's that?
That's surprising.
It's because they ran it during the day.
You could watch a tricycle race on the front stretch of Knoxville and be like, this is one of the biggest races that's ever happened.
It's the fame.
He calls the big wheel races that they do in the Hy-Vee parking lot there the best thing that's ever happened. So
they're pretty damn entertaining. Let me tell you that.
There you go.
There's not many tracks you can go to that have a dirt track themed bar right across the street. So I like that about it too. Magical place.
Gotta let Connor like run a lap in some tennis shoes one day around the track, and then he can say he's run a lap at Knoxville. He'll post like a 4-tweet long thread about how important it is to him.
How was the most important lap he's ever ran in his life?
You guys suck. You make me look like such a shill of a journalist. Like, goddamn. I try not to get like sentimental too much because like you can overdo it like with posts like that. But I do try to like I do that in my head, like reflecting on things and how things go because I care about what we're doing here and how to grow it. I don't like sending a ton of like today. I did that video saying thank you to Knoxville and major thank you to Knoxville. They are the best damn track in the fucking world to work with. They lap the field out of Hawkeye Downs.
Yeah, Caleb.
I just wanted to throw one back at you.
I saw that coming from a mile away. I knew it was coming.
No, but like I did that video and then I tweeted the Mac Miller best day ever because when stuff ends and I get sentimental, I listen to that and like cry twice usually. Listen to the song twice, cry once, maybe 4 times. Depends on the car ride home. But I hate when seasons end because it's bittersweet and you got to wait months to see stuff go on at the track again. But no, it's cool. Where were we going with this?
Well, you were trying to start talking about.
I got it. No, I had a little mini rant here. If you're a late model fan in any aspect and you were in at Knoxville this weekend, shame on you. Shame on you. these people are doing everything they can to make this event big. If enough people show up, they wanted to do like a kind of press conference thing, like they did at Nationals in that big building over there in outside Turn 4. They wanted to.
It's called a barn. It's called a barn.
A barn is a building. You're doing a rectangle square argument with me right now, Damon.
Just saying.
But they are trying their best to make this event better. That's why I asked Jonathan Davenport what he wants out of it. He went the track prep route. That's completely fine with me. Obviously, we have connections to TJ Otzel, but maybe we'll just try to get him down there next year. Chris is going to kill me because TJ won't want to go. Not a racing guy, but he loves having a good time. So I don't know. We'll I want to help them build it too. I don't know what you can do. That race on Saturday, they RTJ. So if you weren't watching at home, RTJ and Mike Marlar traded the lead 5 or 6 times before like the 22 lap mark.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'll tell you is a big race isn't built on the actual racing.
Yeah,
A big race is built on the event of everything that's going on outside of the racetrack. Before you put the ticket through the gate, that's where the event actually comes from. And if you're going to do stuff, you got to do a lot of stuff outside of that, a lot more promoting, because I'll be quite honest, and it's a lot harder since now that I live in Missouri, I don't see as much of the advertising for it. But I mean, I didn't see any advertising for it until the week of.
Yeah, and it's tough. You get into football season, obviously, you know my job and stuff like that, but it's going on. You know what's going on.
Well, we do, but not the general public. That's what you're trying to draw is the general public. And so again, the great, we've had great races at Pocono. We've had great races.
Oh, dude, Iowa Speedway. Iowa Speedway is a fantastic.
At Iowa Speedway, we've had great races all over the country, but that doesn't make it a big race just because it has one good race.
You need the people there. And by the way, like if you're on the fence of going, or if you aren't interested in going and want a reason, I stopped and drank with 17 different people that I didn't know through the week. That's different parties. Kept count. Just walked up, introduced myself, told them who I was, asked them, late model fan, sprint car, what are you? And more of them said just dirt racing or all racing than any left or right sprint car versus late model.
That's the problem you got. You count the parties you go to, not the number of beers you drink.
If I count the number of beers I drank, people would be questioning why I'm alive right now.
People are going to wonder why Connor's walking around with a notepad, just crossing, just doing tally marks for 6 hours.
Exactly. People question why you're alive anyway. At times, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know. I've made it 25 years.
I mean, basically because of all the beers. Josh and I talked about this at Knoxville. We're like, how does this man still live after just crushing a case of beer by himself?
It's a fun time. It's relaxing too.
No, it's not a fun time. It is not a fun time.
So I figured out like how my friend, I won't tell that story. I can't tell that story. I started doing it. I can't say it. Sorry about that. I can't go any further than that.
Anyway, back to the actual.
If I hadn't cut from the podcast already, then maybe I would have told it. But go ahead.
Back to the actual race itself. Didn't get to see much of it. Saw some highlights, but boy, RTJ's fast. We knew he's been fast all year, and he comes out and proves it. And so, just a big win for him. Getting to do that in front of I'm sure a lot of family, a lot of friends, things like that. So good work from him.
Yes, and we don't put out late model rankings yet. Podcast exclusive for you guys, a little scoop for 2024 there. But if we were to this week, Ricky Thornton Jr. is jumping Bobby Pierce in my top 10 for sure. He's
Oh,
RTJ's
Jesus.
one, Bobby is number 2. Yeah.
Breaking news, folks.
Screw
Get
you,
the
Bobby.
sirens out.
Screw Bobby Pierce for not coming to Knoxville. It's unbelievable. It's the biggest late model race of the year. I called it the late model Super Bowl.
Wasn't he there last year? Didn't he win it?
No, JD won it last year, which is why when he called it a dump, I was like, man.
Hey, you know.
And I wanted to keep going with the interview, but I couldn't think of anything like that was funny enough to say afterwards.
Right.
And I didn't want to bitch at him and go,
so
what the fuck are you talking about? You call it a dump? What the hell, dude? Like,
here's the thing,
territory.
It's so funny though that you're like, well, he wins it last year and then calls it a dump this year. Remember, last year, Donnie Schatz trashed the place on qualifying night, then proceeds to go and win the race on Saturday in the Nationals. So, and he finished second the night that he trashed it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And there's stuff like that all over. We saw it at Bristol, obviously. I'm so pissed that Bristol Dirt's going away and we don't get anything. Man, it just stinks.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that there's a dirt track on the schedule next year.
I do too.
I'm glad that it's not Bristol.
And that's a fine thing.
Agree.
I would like to say screw Richard Petty. Just come out, be open with it. Noah's like, what are you talking about? He trashed on that NASCAR being on dirt sets the sport back. And I've held those comments, like, I don't like him. Kyle Petty trashed on Bubba Wallace for not doing an interview and trashed on Ty Gibbs as well. And I just think that family's so long gone with those two. But I don't know.
Since when did you become a Ty Gibbs guy?
I'm not.
I've been gone a long time.
No.
Hey, you stuck him in there like we weren't gonna note it.
I stuck him in there so people didn't think that I was just a Bubba Wallace fan because I like Bubba.
All of a sudden,
I don't love Ty.
Bit, and he's a Ty Gibbs fan.
Well, I watched late models for 3 days in a row, and I turned into a Ty Gibbs fan. If that says anything to you.
My God.
I really like to see them go to like Eldora or something next year.
I do think Caleb, I will get you. We'll figure it out. I want you down there doing infield beers with me.
He doesn't let me do infield beers with him. I just have to hold the fucking camera.
That's because Josh is too lazy to walk backwards. I don't trust Josh walking backwards with my phone.
But I would like to see him to go to either Eldora or Knoxville or a place like that. One of the bigger tracks that are more well known around the country, just to see if as long as they keep a dirt race on the schedule. I enjoyed the Bristol dirt race the first time because there was so much going on.
You enjoyed the first one more than the others?
Yes, and not the racing, not the
racing.
Okay,
gotcha. You're good.
But the event because of all the stuff that went along with it. Both World of Outlaws were there. They ran races before and after on the surface for local people to go to, whether they paid a lot or not, doesn't matter. And then you had the actual NASCAR series there as well, which was cool. But it lost its luster. People still didn't show up, regardless of the time change, regardless of what they put on the racetrack.
I will say, hold on, because the Bristol Dirt crowd, all 3 years that NASCAR ran their Cup race at Bristol Dirt, the dirt crowd there for the spring race was much better than the 2019 spring race crowd. There's hardly anybody at that race for the spring race in 2019. So they lapped the field on attendance with that, doing a spectacular idea that is somewhat unconventional. And they got sprint cars and late models into Bristol. And I was lucky enough to see, and the most viewed video we've ever had was during a night at Bristol, and Kyle Larson gets sent to the back of the field because they didn't think he got out on the track in time. He still got out there before the damn 4 wide started, which, I still am puzzled by that call. But he ran from 22nd all the way up to the front and nearly beat Davenport, and ended up finishing second and trashing the back rear of his race car. And when I walked out of the media center, my dad and Kevin Rumley were the only guys working on the car. So like fucking awesome memories, awesome stuff from what we got of it when it was here. And I hope someday maybe they do it again, but at this point, it's a distant, like, we're so gone because so many people complained about it, and it was just
Well,
a unique event. And that's what I liked about it.
I also think part of it too is, and you know, we can touch on this in the other portion of the episode, but because the racing at Bristol on the asphalt concrete was so good, then they covered it in dirt, and now all of a sudden the car is terrible on the short track. I don't think it really matters what you do. Like I don't think
here's my deal.
I don't think it matters if you put dirt on it or not. The racing's not going to be good regardless.
We're just going to move this conversation to the asphalt podcast. The third NASCAR Cup race for Bristol Dirt kicked ass. It was good. Aside from that, though, Ricky Thornton Jr. sweeps the weekend at Knoxville. Very impressive, very fast. God, I sound so lame.
It's the truth, though. I mean, there's not much else you could say, though.
I will say this: if Kyle Bronson didn't wreck, I think we would have seen a very epic finish. And
speaking of Kyle Bronson, did he forget to bring his late model and all of a sudden showed up with a big block modified? That video that you posted of him on the rollback thing looked like a big block modified.
It did, and he had just talked to Kevin Kovacs from Dirt on Dirt when we did the interview with him. I said, I'll keep it to 2 minutes, man. I'll keep it short. I know you're pissed off because he was the only one who had speed for RTJ. And at one point, a couple points in the race, he had a lap that was 1 second faster, over a second faster than Ricky. And he was coming. Like he was, I just Cade McNamara myself. God damn it.
Yes, he was. He was on his way.
I love my job. Anyways, Kyle Bronson was he was on his way up to the front, and I thought he could have given him a good fight. He slid Todd Cooney, just got up in the wrong spot, just made a mistake, and the crazy part, and I told Hudson O'Neill, like, hey, go watch your exits, because the cars, like, when they came out of the corner, they wouldn't stick in rip like you usually see them. It was like they needed like 50 more feet to kind of settle in, and then it's on the gas. I don't know what was going on with it. I watched Mike Marlar, Huddy, JD, everybody I watched try to throw a slider, like it didn't work. And that's where the narrow track comment comes in. Like, yeah, widen that shit out. Do whatever you can to widen it out, you know?
Yep. Gotta make it a little more racy. It's a little bit bigger. If you wanna make the racing portion of it, I'll better make it wider.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys have anything else from the dirt weekend that you saw? Thanks, Noah. Noah's shaking his head. He's been on mute the entire podcast.
Old boy's crushing dinner. I don't blame him. I would.
You're doing good at dinner, Noah.
I as far as what I got, not really. Didn't see a whole lot from the weekend. We just had some people down here this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to catch up on a lot of it. But more or less, kind of followed along what you were doing there at the dump, and then I'm going to use that as long as I can.
Dude, I was telling Charlie McKenna's kid, Max, and so I stayed with them this weekend, and I said it in that video, but they are phenomenal people. Charlie is the one with the Iowa State.
Charlie's awesome.
And then I watched the Iowa State football game with Kurt Schroeder. He has the Jack Trice stripes on the top of his car. That was the second game I've watched with them. Iowa State's 0-2 when we watch games together in his hauler.
Yeah, you need to stop watching games.
Yeah, we've discussed that. I think we're gonna, at the very least, if this opportunity presents itself again, we're watching it at Charlie's hauler. That is non-negotiable at this point in the year. So we'll see. But yeah, those guys were great. Hung out with Matt Furman, Iowa City native. He's a big Hawkeye fan. If you guys are Hawkeye fans there, Trunk Bar said to say hi. Kagan and Blake Anderson, all the guys there. We got to get Blake Anderson the Late Model Nationals some year.
There you go.
But Buddy Kofoid ended up winning the Placerville World of Outlaws race on Saturday. Good to see that for him. He's needing the win.
Past McFadden to do it, if I remember seeing that right.
Yep, you're correct. So Roth very well there. And then Brad Sweet won the Tom Tarleton Classic on Friday night. That was cool to see as well. I watched a little bit of the All-Star Circuit champion. Zeb Wise picked up a big win. Parker Price Miller looked pretty good this weekend as far as that goes. I was like, in terms of like World of Outlaws and dirt racing I take in, on a typical weekend, this weekend was probably my worst one of actually getting to watch this race, that race, and whatever. But yeah, Brad Sweet leads the point standings by 82 over David Gravel. So still a sizable gap, but if Gravel goes on a run, who knows? If Macedo goes on a run, he's 102 back, who knows? Last thing I want to say for the dirt portion of our show, Chicagoland, Super Motocross. Noah, unfucking mute yourself. Noah's been sitting here cheering me on at every comment.
Look, man, I hear Chicagoland, I get excited. I'm just a simple man.
Did you watch that at all?
Chicagoland.
Look, man, I didn't watch it at all, but I hear Chicagoland and my ears perk up and I feel the happy chemical in my brain start being produced.
Chicagoland.
Yes.
It worked.
But yeah, no, that's cool event. And then it sounds like, that track is getting a NASCAR date possibly in a couple of years. And so Connor made the comment that, they saved Chicagoland Speedway with this. And he walks away.
Didn't.
I teed him up.
Didn't.
I teed him up.
No, they didn't. Drag racing saved Chicagoland Speedway.
I was grabbing a beer. I was telling you to talk more. This is like, and someone's going to judge me for drinking on a Sunday night. This is my vacation day. Like I haven't done anything today. I got out on the course, got some golfing in. I actually just played on the PlayStation 5.
Since when the hell did you golf?
Yeah, well, you don't have to actually go outside and you don't have to walk around. You don't have to rent a golf cart. Specifically, the last time I went to a golf course with my best friend and his brother, they said, well, if there's 3 people with you, the golf cart costs $24. And I said, so it's $8 a person? And he's like, yeah. And I go, okay, well, they won't use the golf cart, so I'll take it for $8. Apparently, that was against
Not how that works.
Yeah, that's what. For all you golfers, just stick up for yourself. That's the dumbest fucking rule I've heard in my damn life.
Unfortunately, the golfers don't get to make that choice, my friend.
If you bitch enough, you can change anything. Just look at JD.
No, true. He's going to show up next year. The place is going to be sparkling. I'm telling you. No, it's been an interesting weekend. That's for sure.
It has. All right, we're gonna head over to the Asphalt Show. I hope you guys like what we're doing on here. Give us feedback. Tell us if you want them in the same episode or not, and stuff like that. Just let us know. People always say like, oh, we really like your stuff, this and that. I want you to like critique me. I want to know what you like better than this or that. So I appreciate everyone for following along this weekend. We love Knoxville Raceway. They are freaking amazing to us, and I hate that the season is already over. So we'll be back in 2024 with some big plans, big things planned. So appreciate y'all, and thank you once again.